Welcome back to another beautiful episode of Velona Cuddles Mums Talk. ඉතින් ඔගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා මේ වෙනකොට අපි Velona Cuddles Mums Talk program එකෙන් අම්මලාට තාත්තලාට වැදගත් වෙන ගොඩක් දේවල් ගැන කතා බහ කරනවා කියලා. ඉතින් අදත් ඒ වගේම ගොඩක් වැදගත් topic එකක් ගැන තමයි අපි ඔයගොල්ලොත් එක්ක share කරගන්න යන්නේ. අම්මලා තාත්තලා විදිහට අපි ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට worry වෙන දෙයක් තමයි අපේ බබාගේ nutrition එක ගැන. ඉතින් උදේට බබාට මොනවද අපි කන්න දෙන්නේ? දවල්ට මොනවද කන්න දෙන්නේ? රෑට මොනවද කන්න දෙන්නේ? ඒ කන්න දෙන දේවල් වල එයාලට අවශ්‍ය වෙන නියුට්‍රිෂන් එක අඩංගුයිද? අපි කොහොමද මේ කෑම වර්ග අලුත් විදිහට හදලා දෙන්නේ? මම දන්නවා අම්මා කෙනෙක් විදිහට ඔන්න ඔය ප්‍රශ්නේ දවස පුරාම අපේ හිතේ තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නයක්. ඉතින් අද අපි ඒ ප්‍රශ්න වලට විසඳුම් ගේන්න ගොඩක් important කෙනෙක්ව අපේ මේ conversation එකට එකතු කරගත්තා. That is Ramya Dhevi. She is a dietitian and a mother of two, right?
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So what is happening these days, Ramya? What is your work schedule like?
I work almost 6 days of the week.
Okay.
So I get only 1 day off.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it goes on.
Right. So I heard you have big kids. Can't even say you are a mother of
Yes.
2 big kids. And like I said before, every mom, every dad, it at least crosses their mind, let's say 5-6 times a day. What am I going to feed my child? What am I going to give them? Is it nutrition, like, is it enough for them? What more can I give them? These are the typical questions that would definitely go on in a mom's or dad's mind, right?
Right.
How do you what is your honest opinion on giving them nutritionist, like as a dietitian? What do you think of how to give them nutritious?
How to balance things
Yes,
out.
how to balance.
So being worried is one good thing in a certain way, because that means you are aware of your responsibility towards, paying attention to good nutrition. But at the same time, that's not going to sort out the issue, because sometimes when we overstress and overthink about what we are going to give at each and every meal, I do know mothers who are very picky themselves and who are very particular and overprotective, let's say. So then they go the extra mile in terms of even decoration, in terms of alignment, in terms of the time. So when you overstress like that, it becomes you're passing on those traits to the child as well, and not allowing them to enjoy or accept the food the way it should be, because you're sort of emphasizing too much of on how the food is presented rather than how the child is going to accept it. So like with everything else, food is not of a concern only for the kids but for ourselves as well.
Yeah.
So unless you're fed well or you're properly taken care of in terms of your meals, you will not be able to give 100% to the child. So an angry mother like myself most of the time would be cranky.
All
of us have our faces. Yeah, different levels and stages. So making it as simple as possible and as real as possible, or what is doable by you, not thinking about what the other kid's mother is giving them. What is suitable as a family from your end, whatever you can give is fine. And one off meal or a child not having a meal for that particular day is not going to ruin the entire thing, right? It's okay if the child doesn't want to have a lunch or maybe dinner, it's fine. But you can, of course, plan it in such a way that you would catch up for that lack of a meal maybe the following day. Or if you know your child's trend or pattern of eating, you'll know that by evening he's going to be tired and would create a fuss. So you try to pack it up as much as possible for breakfast and lunch, or have a snack a little earlier on. So there are so many ways that you can ensure that you're giving the right kind of nutrition for your child. And another way to find out if you're giving enough is to look at the food groups per se. So at any given meal, make sure there is a certain amount of good carbs, a little bit of protein, and some vegetables and fruits to cover up for the requirement of vitamins and minerals. So it's not too much that they require, even though in our mind it's over exaggerated. So we feel like, even if they eat half of what you have put on a plate, it's not enough. So
for us as moms, it's the size of the portion, right?
Exactly, size of the portion versus the size of your baby. All of that matters. A chubby baby is always a healthy baby, not necessarily. Maybe they're less stressed out or more happy, but we don't know. So if as parents we are on the thinner side, then you can't expect your baby to suddenly become chubby. Or unless there is a clinical deficiency or a set out format where your child is not reaching the correct growth percentile. Only if that is being established, you need to worry. So even if it's within the green or whatever those lines are, if your baby is active enough, sleeping well, not cranky, not irritable, you don't have to worry like that. You don't have to go meal by meal and chase them around and harass them, because eventually they will become fussy eaters because of that. And also maybe they'll just not like the food that's been given to them.
Right.
And another thing that we very famously do is when the child says no, you would quickly go and prepare something else. No replacing, right? If he says no, you wait it out.
Okay.
Those are little subtle things that we can introduce to make sure your child is less fussy when it comes to food as they grow up. Otherwise they'll know at every whim and turn, when they say no or when they make a fuss, something else is going to come. How much longer can we do that? And we don't have time that way. And especially if you're a mom with 2 or 3 kids, it's not going to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
And to expect your second child to be the same way as your first child is another...
Doesn't happen like that.
No. You need to be careful there. So, and there's no right and wrong, no? So what if he's just going to eat only a banana for breakfast? At least the child is eating. So that means the appetite is there. It's just that there are other environmental circumstances which is, preventing the child from having a full meal. So like I said, if you feel what the child had taken in the previous meal was inadequate, you do whatever you can to make sure you catch up with it from the next time onwards.
Right. So when it comes to child nutrition, there are so many myths and beliefs and shoulds and you should do this, you shouldn't do that. Can we just go through a bit of that?
Yeah. So when it comes to myths, there is no less of it. Everybody has a different thing to say. So when you're pregnant, you have a whole set of rules. It all, I think, depends on your mother, grandmother, great grandmother, so many things like that. So from my time, generally wouldn't listen, but anyway, we would come across things like not to eat certain types of fruits, or not to even take a bath. That will affect
sometimes us. They say that too,
so
right?
So many things are there. It's mind-boggling. But you can't always expect everything to be researched and science-backed, because this is an emotional thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cultural thing. So different families have different beliefs. Some of it is absurd, and unless that particular belief is causing a problem to the mother, it's all right. You can indulge your grandmother. If she comes and tells you don't eat this, don't eat that, it's okay. You just listen to her to make her happy, but not at the cost of your own health or your child's health. There isn't any taboo per se when you're pregnant and even post delivery. Of course, the main things are no alcohol and smoking. That is there. That's a given. We all know that. Keeping yourself properly hydrated and making sure that... Now, I heard there was this mother who really loves mangoes, but then because it's heaty, it's cooling or whatever.
And some say not to have pineapples when you're pregnant.
Papaya? No, definitely no. Me though, I never saw papaya, pineapple first 4 months, I would say. So, but it didn't cause any trouble for me. But then there are some people who at that point of time, some mothers who would not be able to eat other fruits. So if it comes down to that, maybe you should get the correct advice and not follow those kind of baseless beliefs. And at the same time, not overdo everything. This is good for you. If somebody says that is it, day in and out, you'll be eating only that. You don't have to do that. And certain types of foods which will improve complexion. I'm sure my mother tried everything and I just turned out like this. So it depends, you have your genes that play a role and the level of stress the mother is going through. So if eating rules, restrictions is bothering you to that extent, I think you should just take a step back, calm down and just stick to the basics, right? Follow a proper balanced meal at any given time and make sure that you're exercising right and
Right.
you get your sleep in properly.
That is very important, right?
So nowadays it's come to that.
Yeah.
You just eat right, sleep well, and exercise appropriately. So
Right.
yeah.
And also when it comes to postpartum recovery, I think this is very important because I think there are a lot of moms who are watching us here who are going through the postpartum stage. So how important is it for a postpartum mom and someone who's breastfeeding and maybe she's looking forward to go back to work? How do they have to balance their nutrition in their meals?
So world over, 4 months exclusive breastfeeding, and you're given your maternity leave. So
Yeah.
I would suggest that you make maximum use of that, and depending on whatever other rules you have at your workplace, you plan ahead. If you're not able to breastfeed physically, at least you can extract the milk and make sure that your child gets the breast milk at whatever cost that is. That's going to be very important.
Yeah.
And normally an average mum would produce or would be feeding about say 700 ml of milk. That's it. We feel like it's like liters and liters of milk because of the stress that's involved, but it's 700 ml at divided and set out paces for the child. It's a time for bonding, so if you can make maximum use of that period, that's fine. But again, apart from that, we have the issue of wanting to shed that weight and get back into shape. You want to do everything all together. It's extremely overwhelming. So you don't necessarily have to do everything at the start. So you first focus on yourself, you settle yourself down, then automatically the baby will settle down. Yeah. And then maybe you take your time off, because as much as you want to get back to work because you feel very unproductive, even though you've done the most challenging thing ever, but going back to work will be your biggest criteria. But at the same time, even though you rush towards that, when you get to work, you'll be like, no, I want to go back home and sit and feed my baby. So you'll always have these mixed signals, right? So keep it in the middle. Take your time. If you can get your baby to your workplace and feed him or her there, that will be a really nice thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how accommodating most of these companies are in Sri Lanka. And thereafter you'll have a feeding hour where you get time off and you can go and do that. So if you can figure that out, you're lucky if you have somebody at home to help you. But otherwise, even though it is going to be tough, I'm sure it's not that you can't do it. You're a woman. There's nothing that we can't do.
Of course.
Carry the baby in a backpack also, we'll do it. So yeah, don't need to worry.
Yeah, right. So coming back to you, so you're a working mom, you're a dietitian, and you have two amazing, beautiful kids.
Boys.
Both are boys. Oh my gosh, right. So how do you balance your work life and mom life? What do you do to make it interesting at home?
You really don't want to know, but anyway.
Let's share that too.
Yeah, some of those good days I'll tell you, and you might think I'm a good mom or whatever.
I'm pretty sure you're a good mom.
No, it is tough. It is. It's just that, honestly, I don't remember how I came through that. It's like one, let's say, cyclone of events. But overall, or getting up early was the only option. Your options are very limited. And prepping your meals at some point or the other does help. For me, if I didn't plan in my mind what I want to do, what I want to cook the following day, I'll be a mess. So before bed, I'll run it through my head like a crazy person, what I want to cook. And then it'll just come easily because I'm quite quick with my cooking. So it's easier that way. But apart from that, my mom would, assist from time to time. Especially when they started schooling, it was different. The timings, all of that changed. And there was a time when I was not working full time. Okay. So I was on freelance. So I would drop them to school, go for work, come back, schedule the appointments accordingly so I can go back and pick them up. Then tuitions, all of that was there. So it was a lot of running around. But like I said, as my eldest got a little bigger, I got him to work in the house.
Right. You got some help from him.
I told him to make his own tea, make an omelette, little things. So then they're also, they know I'm not going to be able to do it. So if he's hungry, he will look around.
Yeah.
Just keep those kind of things which he can, cook for make something out of, even if it's a sandwich,
Yeah.
just to take 2 slices of bread and put it in with a piece of cheese. So little things like that at their hands reach. And the other biggest problem is not knowing what to cook. Biggest problem is what do I make for lunch. So likewise, after a certain time the child knows Monday, Wednesday, Friday, this is what's coming.
Yeah.
That's there automatically. So sometimes when we're all bored and we don't want to stick to that routine, then it's a takeout.
Right.
And of course on some days it's unhealthy food, but that also has to be there. Otherwise it becomes very boring. Moreover, if you can get their input into
Also,
helping you,
it's easy for us
both
then.
ways,
Right. And also, Ramya, so many parents feel that it takes a lot of time to make healthy food. It's time consuming, and these things are very expensive. There's a mindset like that in the society. What do you have to say about that? And I'd like to ask you if you have any budget friendly meal plans for the parents who are watching us.
Yeah. Today everything is expensive. So if you think of buying a burger, you can't get anything less than 1,000 rupees. Likewise, if you want to give kadala, mungat or any of these pulses for breakfast, that's also equally the same. But when you look at it in terms of cost versus nutrition and the overall health of your child, you might as well spend that money on buying something that you can make it as healthy as you can. Home cooked food, no matter how little it is or how unbalanced it is, that will be the healthiest option.
Yeah.
Rather than just going out and buying a bun or always these breakfast items being short eats and pastries.
Yeah.
Even if it is like I said, 2 slices of bread made from home, that will be much more safer for the child. And in terms of food choices, when you always buy these processed food, you're limiting or narrowing down their diversity of nutrients. And these foods are overloaded with fat, salt and sugar. Just like how when a child is watching too much of TV, their mind is totally different. They don't have the patience to sit in a place. Likewise, food is also like that, right? It's basically you're overstimulating your senses by giving processed food all the time. Now, you said that it's expensive. Yes, but if you take things like red rice, kurakan flour, atta flour, soy flour, or even just plain red rice flour, it is not that expensive. If you have a starter mix of these flour already made as a whole grain mix, you can make so many different varieties out of that, from pancakes to dosas to pittu, string hoppers, whatever you like. So that will be the base, right? And right from day one, if you can introduce red rice instead of giving these, when you're weaning the child, at 6 months, instead of using white rice, start off with red rice to be on the safe side. And that changes the way they request for food items, the way they process. Now, I do come across kids who don't eat bread at all. It's shocking. They're like, no, all 3 times it's rice. So when we give rice, of course the accompaniments with that is only vegetables, a piece of meat or fish. You can't go wrong in that, no?
Yeah.
More or less. But again, if it's always fried and heavily, oiled, and that way the curries are made like that, then there is an issue. But at least it's safer than eating processed wheat. So your main target should be to avoid processed wheat at the earliest, to make sure that you're giving the healthier versions. So if every single meal is carb based, and if that carbohydrate source is whole grain, if that is of a healthy version, you've done 50% of the work. So the rest of it is just good protein. That can come in the form of chicken, fish and eggs, even red meat if you're eating once or twice a week, but no processed meat. How hard is that?
Yeah.
Tinned meat, tinned fish and processed meat is way more expensive than just buying a kilo of chicken or fish and preparing it from scratch. So you can make it budget friendly as much as possible, because we all are facing the same issues. Milk, unfortunately, is expensive, but you don't need too much of it. For a child who is 3 years old or to a child who is 13 years old, you just need a maximum of 2 glasses of milk per day. You don't have to supplement that. If your child is well and healthy, just that 2 glasses of milk is more than enough. right?
Right. So that is a very interesting topic we spoke about today at Vilona Cuddles Mom's Talks. So thank you so much, Ramya, for joining with us today to share your expertise and to talk about all of this. So thanks again for joining
Thank you.
with us today.
Thanks a lot for having me here.
Right. So that is the end of this episode. We will be back with another interesting topic on another day.